To be honest, when we had the management and band meeting at the Arabella Hotel, I think it was in Munich, without Richie, of course, well, I had three names on a list, and because I mean Richie Blackmore's Richie Blackmore, the founder member of Deep Purple. My first suggestion was shut down in flames immediately by the management. Was, well, why don't we change the name? With Richie not being there, like the Deeps or just Purple or something. So there was an obvious change. Shut down in flames. not a chance. No. So they go, who've you got? And that's the first name I had on my list of potential guitarists was Jeff Beck. I was and remain a huge, huge fan of his astonishing guitar playing. I didn't know Jeff particularly well at that time, but John and Ian did, and they went, oh my God, you're kidding. After Richie Blackmore, that's going to be like jumping out of the frying pan into the fire in terms of potential attitude or character situations. My next name was a beautiful Irish blues guitarist who I thought would do a great job, and a great singer too, called Rory Gallagher. They couldn't see it. And the third name I had, I'd been listening to on two albums, one by a drummer called Alphonse Mouzon, called Mind Transplant, and there were two tracks which I thought were gorgeous, and I still do to this day. And the other album was this amazing thing by the drummer from Mahavishnu Orchestra called Billy Cobham, and it was an album called Spectrum. And the guitar playing, I thought, was just as fresh as melodic, fresh. It wasn't Richie. Who's Rich? Who's going to... this is just a great, interesting sounding guitarist, and his structures of the solos were really good. He had fire, passion, sex, and nobody had heard of him. So I went upstairs to my room and got my cassette and came down and played it, and they all went, oh, wow, So the search was on for Tommy Bolin. John brought a guitarist in that I'd rather not say the name, a really nice guy, but he certainly wasn't, for a Purple style band. But he's that guy was the only one other than Tommy that was given an audition. Nobody else. And Tommy was amazing. All his guitars were in hock. In a pawn shop, he had to borrow money to get his Strat out, and he came in with multicolored hair, multicolored fingernails and toenails. He was a vision, the most exotic vision, and everybody's going, oh my God, as he walks across this huge soundstage where we were set up. He just walked over to this wall of amps and speakers, just walked down them, just turning everything to the max, plugged his Strat in. Nah, everybody went, wow, and we were off. And I think the Purple management actually released some of the jamming tunes, because what we would do would jam, and then I'd take them home and try to make songs out of them, But Tommy was amazing, a beautiful soul, and I so wish he was still with us. But I think he did a great job in a relatively impossible scenario,